So yes guys, welcome back to another video, and today I've decided to do a little review and sort of presentation on the SPS and REVO software that I have since about 7 months now. 6 months, maybe 8,500 miles later, roughly, looking at the odometer. And yeah, so this is basically, I'm going to go through what have I done to the car. So I have got the REVO Stage 2 software for the Focus ST Mark III and all the necessary sort of required parts for that they advise. Bits like blow-off valve from GFB, DV Plus, and a Steeder manifold spacer as well. I've got that, which is on top. And just a quick look at the actual software switch. Just take it out of the box. So with the Focus ST, you get 4 modes. You can't really see, I'll read it out to you. So mode 1 is stock, mode 2 is 95 RON, stage 2 tune, mode 3 is 99 RON, stage 2 tune, and the number 4 is immobilizer. So there's multiple switches on here, as you can see sort of on the dial. 0 to 4, or 1 to 4, sorry, is the is those settings that you've got there. So I've got mine on 3, which is 99 Shell V power. And when I park my car overnight, or especially if I go somewhere and I don't know the area, I'll carry this with me and I'll put it on number 4 so no one can get in the car and just drive off with it. So that's that. So why did I actually choose REVO? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. I like the idea of the multiple maps and the switchable maps. The other idea was because they've developed the software for this car over thousands of tested cars with you know, hundreds of different variable mods. So that might be a forge intake on one, REVO intake on the other, it might be a mount tune intake on the next, and they've put it all across into this to give you a good solid guide of what your car's actually going to get, which is between 295 and 314 horsepower. That's varied between something like 495 to 525 newton meters of torque. Don't quote me on the torque figure because I'm not 100% sure if I remember that correctly, but it is definitely around the 500 newton meters plus mark, I know that. So yes, you can go on a dyno and get a dyno tune from an independent dealer. I understand that that's how you can really push the car to the max limit. There is some debate on which is better. Most people will say dyno. Some people like myself, who I've done hours and hours of research into this, I chose the REVO because I am not going to push the car on the current setup past anything more than 300 horsepower. So with that said, because I'm only pushing stage 2 roughly amount of power on my car, I don't require anything specifically dyno tuned, because this software has been designed exclusively for either stage 1 or stage 2 applications. So if I once go methanol injection, or I decide to go a hybrid turbo, which maybe will be a thing, or a bigger turbo even in the next couple of years, 2-3 years, then I will probably go to stratified map and get an actual specific downloadable map for the car, which they monitor and they tweak according to how your air fuel ratio, wide open throttle, boost gauge, and everything like that is as well as the correction factor, according to all those things. So with regards to the REVO, it's the way that they do their cars is they spend hundreds of hours on track, hundreds of hours on the road, and plenty of hours on the dyno to basically get the final numbers. The difference between tuning the car and a dyno is it's a false environment. It's not an environment that replicates the real life conditions. That's why I decided to go for REVO, because when you go on the road and you drive at speed and they data log the car. Ooh. I heard that coming from a while away. when you data log a car on the road whilst putting the foot down, monitoring boost pressure, wide open throttle, correction factor, AFR, knock, all that sort of stuff, the REVO technicians get the most accurate representation when it's on track and the road. So what that means is when you're driving at speed, you're actually forcing a lot more air than you would be going at 70 miles per hour, 80 miles per hour, 90 miles per hour, than you would be on a dyno tune with a fan. Some fans don't get the air all the way around the engine as it should be. When you're driving, the air gets all the way underneath the engine, over the top of it, everywhere. That's the idea of that. So you get a more of an accurate tune if it's done specifically on the road. So they load the file on that sits well with thousands of Focus ST Mark IIIs onto this car. The guy took it out for a drive. That was Matt at MG Auto Motorsport in Ripley, Nottingham, or Derbyshire. Great guy, great job. What happens is he'll take it out on the road and he will data log the car, and he will then adjust correction factors on AFR, boost, you know, correction, all that sort of stuff. He will adjust that according to how well the car's logging in correlation with the software, so that it's pre-installed, and then you can just fine tweak it. And that's what they've done. That's what they've done with the car, and that's basically what it is. When I data log my car with the Torque Pro app and the ELM 327 OBD reader, and I will say this: the car is consistent with boost, depending on temperatures. I know boost varies on temperatures, higher boost when it's warmer, lower boost when it's colder. But with regards to AFR, boost, times of the car, how well it drives, because you can monitor speed on this from one pull to another, very consistent. Whether it's the first run, the third run, or the fifth run, back and forth, back to back, it will perform the same within 0.01% to what I can work out in my head. So the map is incredibly consistent, and I'm very happy with it, because it does feel like it drives exactly the same whenever I take it, whether it's 10 minutes into drive or whether it's 2 hours later down the line when I'm at the coast and I'm deciding to go back home. So the map is great. I would definitely recommend you guys actually have a look at REVO and their software. I do have to get it on a dyno still. I've not done that, but because of coronavirus I've not had the chance. But with the way that it's loading the AFR and the boost and all the different data logs, which I do every few weeks just to check how my car's running, it will easily be reaching those numbers and hitting those numbers just fine. So I'm very happy about that. Now the next thing is that right now what I'm going to do is actually show you with the point of view head camera. I'm going to data log between 80 kilometers to 120 kilometers in 4th gear and 5th gear. I am going to compare the stock speed in 5th, because it doesn't have the 4th one on fastest laps, and I'm going to compare it to the RS. I'm also going to compare it to the Hyundai i30N, as well as the Golf GTI Mark 7.5 facelift, other cars such as Honda Type R, FK8, the Renault Megane RS. I'm going to basically do a comparison with those cars just to give you an idea how good the Stage 2 software is against those cars, and what sort of performance gains you should be expecting. As you can see, this is the best I can get with regards to roads. It is going to be on a completely flat surface, so there's no uphills, no downhills. Further back that way, behind me, there is a perfectly nice straight for about half a mile. So that'll be the test of this. So we ain't got any curvatures of the road, up or downhills, that could spoil the actual numbers. On top of that, it has been raining a little bit, and it has only just stopped drizzling in the past 5 minutes, so the roads are cold and damp. Please bear in mind that those numbers that are stock for those other cars, like the Focus RS, the Type R, or whatever, those numbers are done in-house on a dyno under controlled environments where they can time the car with the OBD timing, OBD plug timing, and get it exactly right under the conditions. This isn't perfect conditions. The road isn't the smoothest surfaced. It's that sort of weird gritty road. So it's not the flattest and smoothest surface either, and it has been a little bit damp, and there is wind to be taken into account. So it won't be, you know, as accurate as it would be on the flat surface on the dyno. However, it will be the closest idea we can get in the real world. Okay, so there you go, it's ready. I'll pop that there. Turn heating off. I'm going to put that on quite bright so we can see it. There we go. Yeah, clear. So yeah, so 80 to 120 kilometers is 50 to 74 point something miles per hour. So we don't want to go above 50 miles per hour before we want to get this started, otherwise it'll just time it. So we're going to do 5th gear first, from 50. It's about 2000 RPM. Let's go. 4.2 seconds. 80 to 120 kilometers per hour. Now let's do 4th gear on the way back. I don't want to do 5th again because 5th is a gear that will give you LSPI error if you load it too much in low revs, and that requires you to be at 2 grand, and I don't wish to be doing that. So, let's go. Well, last time I did this, the roads were wet. Today they're slightly damp, if not maybe dry by now, and I got 3.5 and 3.4 consistently, and now I've got 3.2. So I am happy with that. Let's do one more 4th gear pull. Okay, so good baseline for 4th gear, 3.25 seconds out of 3 runs. That's the average roughly, so 3.2 seconds, 3.3 seconds. The 5th gear, like I said, I'm only going to do once. If this is accurate, consistent, so is the 5th gear going to be. So we've got 4.2 seconds in 5th and 3.2 seconds, 3.3 seconds in 4th. Now I'm going to go back and park up. Right guys, so we've parked up and I'm going to give you a rundown of all the cars and their 80 to 120 kilometers per hour in 4th and 5th. Some will only have 5th available because they only measured in 5th. So the official times for the Mark 3 ST stock tune with no mods in 5th is 6.3 seconds, 80 to 120 kilometers per hour. The Focus RS in 5th is 5.6 seconds. In 4th it is 4.4 seconds. The Honda Civic Type R in 5th, 4.8 seconds. In 4th, 4.1 seconds. The Hyundai i30N in 5th, 5.6 seconds. In 4th, 4.8 seconds. The VW Golf GTI 7.5, that's the facelift, automatic, locked in its manual mode, recorded in 5th only, 6.5 seconds. So that is slightly slower than the standard Focus ST. The Megane RS, the current new model, in 5th, 5.9 seconds. In 4th, 4.2 seconds. So there you have it guys, those are the times recorded, official times for those cars, which took me about an hour to find the official times for all those cars, but I did it. That's the times that we have recorded for stock in those vehicles and ours, or the Mark 3 RS ST. Now this is the performance of the REVO Stage 2, that's 3.25 seconds, let's say, in 4th from 80 to 120 kilometers per hour, and 4.2 seconds in 80 to 120 kilometers per hour in 5th. So just to give you an idea of how well the REVO software does. If you guys would like to do this yourselves, get the LM Pro OBD adapter, which I got from Amazon for about 16 quid, and get the Torque Pro app. I think it's the free version that I have, but there is a paid version for a few quid as well. It's a great app. I do all my data logging on there, you know, make sure that all the boost pressures, you know, the AFR, as well as the correction factor and knock and all that sort of stuff is exactly where it should be. I do it every 2-3 weeks roughly. There's a lovely Mustang that's just about to drive past in nice orange colour. I think that was an EcoBoost though, otherwise we would have heard it. So yeah, get those things. So we have a get the app and the ELM Pro adapter, so that we can actually compare. If you want to post your times, if we can actually compare and be as accurate and reliable, because we're using the same measuring techniques. Although any OBD app will be the same, because it's taking your odometer speed exactly as it should be, so there isn't any discrepancies there. But it's always best to use to do a standardized test and use the exact same stuff. So that's basically the video on that. I would really recommend the REVO software if you're looking for stage 1 or stage 2 appliances, or the modifications that go along with those, and don't want to push the car above anymore. For me to push more, I need to forge my engine to be safe. You don't need to, but it is recommended. I need to forge my engine, get a methanol injection, and get a hybrid turbo, if not a proper bigger turbo upgrade, which is probably going to be likely at the end of the day. So, but those are the numbers. I am really impressed with how it drives. It's, like I said, it's consistent, and I really rate the actual software. If you live around the sort of Derbyshire area, Nottingham, Sheffield at Statler, which is a Porsche dealership, they're a REVO authorized dealer, but they haven't really been working much during the lockdown in the past 12 months. So I went all the way down to Ripley in Derbyshire and saw, like I said, I saw Matt, and he's absolutely fantastic. They've got a absolutely incredible Evo, which looks insane and sounds insane, and they actually hold the fastest time on a couple of the tracks for a time attack around the UK. So they know what they're doing. Absolutely fab. And yeah, that's the video. So hopefully you like, comment and subscribe. That would be absolutely appreciated. I haven't seen any videos like this out there that compare the actual performance, you know, with numbers from one to the other to the next, of all the sort of competitor hot hatches to the Mark 3 ST. So this was a really nice little sort of video that I thought I could put together for you guys, because I've always been interested, and I think now a lot of your answers will be, a lot of your questions will be answered in this video. So yeah, take care guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care guys.